Good morning, students. I am Sarkar, Assistant Professor of Shiliguri Torai B.Ed College and Shiliguri Primary Teachers Training College. Today, I will discuss D.Ed Part 1 English. Today's topic is structural approach. I will discuss today what is structural approach, what is the principles of structural approach, what is the advantage of structural approach, what is the disadvantage of structural approach. Before start, we have the basic idea of method. Method refers to the way of teaching a language, and approach refers to the theories of language learning. Types of approach are structural approach, communicative approach. According to Cambridge International Dictionary, method means a particular way of doing something, and whereas approach refers to different theories about the nature and acquisition of language or how language are learned. So let's start. Structural approach. The structural approach means the arrangement of words in such a way as to form a suitable pattern of a sentence. The mastery of sentence structure is considered to be mere with than acquisition of vocabulary. In structural, content words are also taught. The selection of content words is directed by their usefulness, simplicity, teachability. An appropriate situation should be created to practice the structure and to relate its meaning to it and build a vocabulary of content words. Even the structure is separately taught. The term is predated in an appropriate situation by teaching. Structural approach is based on theories of behaviorist to teach language. Through this approach, we have to understand the pattern of structure of language. Each and every language has its own structure. Every language differs structurally. There are structural differences between Gujarati and English. In Gujarati, the verb is placed at the end of sentence, but in English, the verb placed after subject and after the object or adverb according to sentence. The learners have to practice this pattern thoroughly for naturalizing habits. According to C.C. Fires, only after much practice of the same pattern with diverse content do the pattern themselves become productively automatic. Now, what is the principles of structural approach? Language is a system of structure and signal. Student can learn very well if the teaching is according with its structure and signal in a scientific way. Number 1, the principles of structural approach. Students' activity is important rather than teacher's activity. Number 2, importance of speech. Number 3, importance of formulation of language habit in arranging words in a proper pattern. Number 4, language learning may be very easy if language is presented into small structure which clear the concept of language entirely. Number 5. Language learning may be very effective if the structure of language is presented in the context of child's mother language or mother tongue. Number 6. The effectiveness of the language learning depends upon quantity of subject matter. If there is a proper gradation of subject matter, teaching may be very effective. Number 7. If the language is learned as a living system, learning of language may be too effective. Now we will move on the advantage of structural approach. Number 1. This method helps student to learn very fast because subject matter is present in form of structure. Student understand it easily. Number 2. Students first listen to the teacher and they repeat it. Thus, they learn to speak first and then read and write. Number 3. When students learn the structure of language, they automatically learn the grammar, words order, use of words and sentence pattern. Number 4. This approach promotes the use of every English. Number 5. This approach enables student speak fast, which is very important, and then read and write. Number 6. Proper stress on oral learning. Number 7. Both the teacher and the students are active. Number 8. In this method can be adopted for all students of language learning. Now we will move on the disadvantage of structural approach. Number 1. This method prefer the selection and gradation of the structure, which does not solve the problem of teaching English. Number 2. This approach does not advise the teacher that how should be present and the structure of language or teaching material. Number 3. This approach does not advise the teacher about the teaching material for written exercise. The technique of gradation is good in theory, but it is not good in practice work. Number 4. Structural approach is not suitable for higher class. Drilling. Number 5. Drilling makes atmosphere of the class dull and boring. Number 6. Only well selected sentence pattern can be taught in the class. Number 7. More teaching aids are needed. Number 8. Prescribed textbook cannot be taught. Number 9. If the structure of the syllabus is followed strictly, it is difficult to complete the syllabus. This much for today. Next class I will discuss on oral approach. Thank you.